This is our field trip for the day, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is what David Miscavige should be absolutely humiliated about. An entire, giant, full-size Scientology operation. The only one in its city. The only one within an hour-and-a-half drive. And it is completely closed down. Let's take a closer look. We are in Plant City, Florida. It's about 90 minutes east of where I live in Clearwater, Florida. We're gonna take a close look at this little operation here, but I want to explain. This is called a test center. They call it the Life Improvement Center to be specific, but the Scientologists really call it the test center. It is the Florida equivalent of what you see on Hollywood Boulevard, where the live stream YouTube TikTok protest started. Right there. I forget what the intersection is, but it's really close to Hollywood and Highland. I forget what the exact intersection is on Hollywood Boulevard, but you guys know, very close to Hollywood and Highland. It's the test center. When David Miscavige about 20 years ago, started his so-called ideal org strategy, one of the problems was that these giant buildings he was asking Scientologists to buy, new buildings for existing organizations. A lot of these buildings were out in locations without a lot of foot traffic. And L. Ron Hubbard said that Scientology organizations had to be located with heavy, heavy foot traffic. And he said they didn't have to be pretty, fancy, expensive premises, but they needed to be located where a lot of people walked by. Well, David Miscavige was having Scientologists fork over tens of millions of dollars to buy buildings that were out in the middle of nowhere. Part of his solution for that was these test centers. These test centers would serve as an extension of the main organization. So these test centers are not themselves full-blown Scientology organizations. These test centers only deliver introductory services because that is their entire reason for existing. To bring brand new people in off of the street, to have them do cheap, quick introductory services. An introductory course takes a couple days instead of a couple months. And once they were ready to go on to major services, they would be sent to the main organization. This Plant City so-called Life Improvement Center is one of two such locations that were supposed to feed brand new Scientologists to the Tampa organization that's located in Ybor City, actually. Ybor City is like a district of Tampa. So Scientology's Tampa org is located in Ybor City. Yesterday, the field trip that we took was to St. Pete, Florida, where one of the two test centers of the Tampa org are located. I showed you guys that test center is completely closed down and abandoned. This Plant City location is the second test center. It is also completely closed down and abandoned. Let's take a closer look. Oh, better keep it legal. All right. Now, I already did a little initial recount on this place, and the doors are locked. The main lights are out. And somebody paying real close attention might go, Aaron, this isn't fair. You're there at 6:40. That place wouldn't still be open at 6:40 p.m. I was here earlier, guys. I was just dealing with some other stuff. This place has been closed down all day. The truth is, this place has been closed down for years, you guys. Years. So let's see what we can see. What's amazing is that there's any lights on at all. What's also amazing is that how are they going to get staff members from the Tampa org to drive an hour and a half all the way out here to Plant City just to take care of this place? Hold on one sec. So it's my guess that perhaps some of the Scientology, my guess is maybe they found a Scientologist who just lives all the way out here near Plant City to just come by and turn the lights on and off every now and then. Or maybe these lights here are just so cheap to operate that it's okay just to to keep them on all the time. I can't tell for sure. Any of you people who are still inside the Scientology bubble who can tell me what exactly the deal is with the operation of this test center? Like, even when it was up and running, how did it work? Did staff members really go to the 9 a.m. muster at Tampa and then make a 90-minute drive? Well, I guess the drive was 90 minutes from Clearwater. It's probably only 45 minutes from Tampa. Let's see what else we can. Let's walk around this place. See, I don't see a lot of dust. You'd think there'd be like a lot of dust on these things, but there's not. It's 2 stories. So just like the center that we looked at yesterday, this place has course rooms for introductory courses. And let me see. Look. Just like yesterday, we saw the floor plan. I can see, let me try to stabilize this thing a little bit better. Hold on. I'm failing at this. Okay, I see, it says testing, film room 1, film room 2, evaluation and registration, seminar room. That's on the first floor. Second floor, life improvement course room, course administrator. Success through communication course room. There you go. There you go. Now, I'm not sure if I truly did it justice showing you guys this building from the other side of the street, but we'll go back there in a minute. I'm a little confused. I got to tell you, I'm a little confused because it doesn't, looking at it from where I'm standing right here, it doesn't look like a place that's been completely shut down for years. Look, I don't even see dust on the tables. Oh, if anyone's wondering what these timers are for. Oh, someone speculated that maybe the lights are on timers. That's brilliant. That's totally possible. By the way, these timers are for the tests. The personality test, I don't think is a timed test, but the IQ and aptitude tests are timed tests, and that's what those are for. And many of you guys have probably already seen those little pamphlets. Those are foldouts. Those are actually the personality tests. Parker Osmond is saying they paid $620,000 for this place cash back in 2006. Amazing. It's funny because this facility here would be a nice facility even for a full-sized organization. Let me get across the street. Oy. Like, these buildings are impressive. And they have that whole thing. I'll tell you, when you know how much free labor Scientology has, and here in Clearwater, kind of like Los Angeles, it's not just Scientologists and staff members who provide the free labor, but actual Sea Org members. It seems to me that if this thing was actually like operating, the freaking awning would not look like that. Miscavige is kind of obsessed with appearances. And, if we're talking about an organization that's in kind of a far-flung geographical region, like even in the center of the United States, where David Miscavige is just never going to go. I mean, David Miscavige never goes in the United States. He never goes anywhere other than Los Angeles and Clearwater. But Tampa and Clearwater are basically the same thing. And I can tell you that there are Sea Org members specifically responsible for running the Tampa org. In fact, a little bit of inside baseball. Not that long ago. Well, so you might have heard Scientologists talking about Scientology continents. East US, West US, Canada, Latam, Europe, Anzo, Africa. Scientology has its, oh God, there's bugs everywhere. Scientology has its international operations divided up into continents. And for the US, it's West US and East US. And the East US Management Office, the Sea Org Management Office, is located in New York City. And all lower level organizations, of which Tampa is one, are under the jurisdiction of the Continental Management Unit based in New York City. Except once David Miscavige bought a new building for the Tampa organization and opened up these two test centers, David Miscavige said, guess what, folks? The Tampa org is no longer under the jurisdiction of the Continental Management Unit in New York City. It is now going to be directly managed by Flag. Well, guess who directly manages Flag? David Miscavige, folks. So the fact that this thing looks like this, to me, is all the evidence in the world. This thing ain't in operation. Because Flag is composed of Sea Org members, exclusively staffed by Sea Org members, and there's a whole mess of Sea Org members responsible for making sure that the Tampa org is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. And those Sea Org members are answerable to David Miscavige. And if David Miscavige ever found out that this test center looked like this, oh my God, those Sea Org members would be in a whole mess of trouble. Now, guys, I only even drove all the way out here because I already know this test center has been shut down since COVID. I'm just surprised that it doesn't actually look like it. And so, I've seen some comments in the chat that they probably just send some cleaners out every now and then, and the lights could be on timers. These are all very good guesses and very possible. So, I don't know. Let's just see. What else is there anything else we can figure out from seeing what's here? Even the plant doesn't have dust on it. I don't know. Why am I so impressed by the lack of dust? I guess the other thing is there's no hours of operation unless I missed it. Let's see if there's some hours of operation. Guys, if you're watching right now, do me a favor, hit that like button. I'll tell you what, I don't think this notice would be on the door if this place was in business. That's just my guess. I could be wrong. That's not the kind of thing I would ever see in a building of any Scientology organization that was actually, open. That's the kind of thing you put in the window of a property that's not actually in use. I don't know. Am I wrong, guys? What do I know? I'm just trying to see, obviously, even deep inside, no one's home. And here's the thing. It's a Thursday, guys. I'm so sweaty out here. It's crazy. I'm wearing jeans and everything. It's a Thursday. Well, here's the other thing. Yeah. Okay. Here's the other thing. All mainline Scientology organizations operate 7 days a week. There are no exceptions to this, folks. They're not closed on Christmas. They're not closed on New Year's. They're not closed on Thanksgiving. They ain't never closed. These test centers are extensions of the main line org in Tampa. It's a Thursday. Thursday is one of the most important, busiest days of the week in Scientology. I don't know if you guys know this, but Thursday at 2 p.m. is actually when Scientology ends their week. So Thursday, all the way up until 2 p.m., is literally the busiest time in a Scientology organization. And this is, just like we see the sidewalk recruitment happening in Hollywood, we see it happening in Chicago, we see it happening in Austin. This is quite literally, precisely, this entire facility exists for the sole reason of doing that sidewalk recruitment. That's something to consider. Your mainline Scientology organizations are there to do a number of things. Just because you don't see people recruiting on the sidewalk outside of one of those organizations doesn't mean they're not getting down to their business. But this location and the one in St. Pete that we visited yesterday exists only for the reason of doing sidewalk recruitment. Guys, I pulled up here, I forget, it feels like an hour and a half ago, long before closing time, maybe 5:45, 5:30, 5:45, I forget. There was nobody here. There were no signs. There was no signs, no sign of life, no sandwich boards, no staff, absolutely nothing. Any former Scientologist, any former staff member will swear that if this place was open at all, it would be open today. Today ain't no special day. No reason for this thing to be closed today unless it's actually closed all the time. This is pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, look, but even this, is this dirty? Yeah, that's dirty as hell, but that's okay. I could excuse that. Help me find some dust, guys. I can't get over the lack of dust. I think I see some dust. It is amazing how much fun I have just showing that this place is closed down. Let's see. And by the way, it's quite a busy road. I've never been to Plant City before. For what feels like a pretty small town, the street, the car traffic on this street has been absolutely non-stop. It's actually a gorgeous little town too. I wish there was more for me to show, but I guess the last thing I kind of want to show here is, guys, literally no hours of operation? Nothing? I mean, never mind the fact that I'm literally outside this place during what would be normal hours of operation, and as you can see, it is totally closed. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm just checking some stuff out. Let me see. All right. Like I said, they love buying historic buildings, don't they? Isn't the building we went to yesterday, wasn't it also a historic building? I have to double check the live stream. I think it was. Can you see that with the reflection? I'm not sure if you can. It says, testing. Okay. I know. I'm sweating my ass off, you guys. You can see why I truly don't know why I live in Florida. And also, I might have smeared the camera with a fingerprint. Hold on. Can you see how much I'm sweating out here? It's crazy. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. So, I think one of the things that I commented on yesterday is that if Miscavige allows these test centers to be closed down and mothballed, I'm sorry guys, I have to wipe all the sweat off my face. Give me a sec. This is insane. Hold on. Ugh. Oh my God. Ugh. I'm not built for this weather, folks. I should be in Montana or something. Ugh. Okay. If Miscavige allows these centers to be mothballed and abandoned right in the backyard of Scientology's biggest organization in the world in Clearwater, Florida, why does he keep the test center open on Hollywood Boulevard? And the answer is just one reason. Appearances. Appearances. The media of the world ain't looking at the Plant City or the St. Pete test centers. But that test center on Hollywood Boulevard is right there in one of the busiest intersections in the world. I mean, it might be a slight exaggeration, but not by a lot. Also, Los Angeles is one of the places where David Miscavige, let me change my camera. I'm going to keep walking around because I can't stand standing still. Los Angeles is one of the places where Miscavige trains Scientology executives. And one of the things these executives are trained on is the importance of these test centers in sidewalk recruitment. Now you might go, why in the hell would Miscavige try to train them on the importance of these test centers in sidewalk recruitment if it obviously doesn't work? And the answer is because he has to tell them that it does work. He has to tell them that it does work. First of all, L. Ron Hubbard said it worked. And back then, before the internet and before people could easily find out the truth about Scientology, maybe it did work. For sure, I think a lot of old-timer Scientologists can tell you that they got into Scientology or they got other people into Scientology by doing the sidewalk recruitment. So, I mean, we anecdotally do know that to some extent it did work. It doesn't work anymore. But Miscavige has to pretend that it does, and he has to tell them that it does, so that he can blame them for nobody getting into Scientology. Now think about this, guys. I know I've said this in another recent video, but I like to repeat myself over and over and over again. David Miscavige likes to take credit for these huge online marketing campaigns, Super Bowl ads, Scientology TV websites. He likes to take credit at events for reaching billions and billions of people with the message of Scientology. Guys, if that online promotion and recruitment actually worked, why would he waste the man hours and the effort of Scientology staff members being out on the sidewalks where they can be harassed and interfered with and prevented from doing their jobs by protesters? It wouldn't even make sense. He has to tell the Scientology staff members that this stuff works so that he can blame them for people not getting into Scientology. That's how I see it. I'm sure there's more than one way to see it. And the truth is usually never all about just one thing. But it really is a major part of it. He has to give them something they can do to get people into Scientology so that he can make them do it and then blame them for it not working. He's going to say, it does work. You just aren't doing it correctly. I just can't. The more time I spend out of Scientology, the more I feel bad for the guys who are still wasting their lives in there, working their guts out on staff and in the Sea Org. Public working their guts out at their jobs so they can turn all their money over to Scientology. Spending all their free time on course, or even worse, in session. At least course is a little more fun than session. Turning their kids over to the Sea Org. Oop. Damn it, the bugs are circling. Turning their kids over to the Sea Org. Wasting their time, wasting their money, wasting their family. Because they swallowed all these lies. First from L. Ron Hubbard and now from David Miscavige. It's sad, folks. It's sad. For you Scientologists under the radar, I ask you, If the ideal org strategy was working, if Scientology was expanding, if your money was being put to good use, please tell me why this facility is completely vacant and abandoned and inoperational. I am at least an hour and a half away from the nearest Scientology organization. This test center, if there was any organic demand for Scientology, should be packed. It should be packed with staff, and it should be packed with brand new public. For the people who are still under the radar, you have to look at this. You have to look at this, and you have to confront and admit what this means. When David Miscavige says he just needs more of your money so he can just buy some more buildings so that Scientology can take over the world and he can release OT 9 and 10. Every single part of that is false. The evidence that is false is right in front of your eyes. And that's why I wanted to come to Plant City. Oh, wow, there's actually a bench here. I could have been sitting down the whole time. I got to get my steps in somehow, you guys. All right, that's it for me. I got an hour and a half drive back to Clearwater. And something tells me I'll think of something that I want to do a live chat about while I'm driving home. So stay tuned for that, you guys. By the way, guys, I'm streaming directly from YouTube, not from StreamYard. So it's all but impossible for me to look at the chat or follow the chat or respond to the chat or anything. So I'm not even going to try. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.